My name is Harper, and I never thought the person I loved the most could betray me so completely. One text changed everything. I'm moving in with my boss, we've been seeing each other for a while. I felt my world crumble, my heart shatter, and every lie I ignored finally screaming in my face. My name is Harper, and I thought my life was perfect with Ethan. You're home early, I said one Friday, grinning as he walked through the door. Yeah, he replied casually, setting his bag down. Had some free time. I smiled, but something about the way he avoided my eyes made me pause. Everything okay at work? Yeah, fine, he said, almost too quickly. Just a long day. I nodded, brushing it off. I always brushed things off when it came to him. He had this charm, this way of making me feel like I was the only person in the world. Later that week, Chloe called me. You seem off. What's going on with Ethan? I don't know, I said, pacing my apartment. He's been distant, but maybe he's just tired. Chloe's voice was calm but firm. Harper, don't ignore your gut. Something feels off. I'm fine, really. I don't want to make a big deal out of nothing. But deep down, I wasn't fine. Nights when he came home late, pretending he'd been stuck at work, my stomach twisted. And there were his phone calls he'd take outside, whispering and laughing softly, always glancing at me when I tried to watch. One evening, as I was waiting for him to come out of the shower, his phone buzzed. He left it on the counter while drying off. I knew I shouldn't look, but curiosity and fear won over. A message popped up. Can't wait to see you tonight. B. My heart froze. B, who's B? I whispered to myself. He came back, wrapping a towel around his waist. Everything okay? I swallowed hard. Yeah, just thinking out loud. You sure? His eyes lingered on me, curious but unreadable. Yeah, I lied. The next day at work, I confided in Maya. I saw something on his phone. I don't know if I'm overreacting. Maya frowned. Harper, if something feels wrong, it probably is. You can't ignore that gut feeling. I nodded, though I tried to convince myself I was imagining things. Ethan always had a way of explaining everything, making me feel small for doubting him. That weekend, we went out for brunch. You've been quiet, he said, reaching for my hand. I'm just tired, I guess, I said, forcing a smile. You can tell me anything, he whispered, brushing a strand of hair from my face. I wanted to believe him. I wanted to believe us. But the weight in my chest wouldn't go away. I remembered Chloe's warning, Maya's advice, the little uneasy moments that I had laughed off. Harper, are you okay? Ethan asked again as I stared out the window. I'm fine, I murmured, though my voice cracked. He squeezed my hand. I love you. You know that, right? I know, I said softly, leaning into him. That night, alone in my room, I replayed everything, the phone call I overheard, his hurried explanations, the text from B. I told myself I was imagining it, that love meant trusting completely. But a tiny seed of doubt had planted itself, and I could feel it growing. Chloe called me later. You've been quiet again. Promise me you'll watch your heart. I promise, I whispered, though I wasn't sure I believed it. And as I lay in bed, Ethan asleep beside me, I realized that maybe, just maybe, my perfect illusion was beginning to crack. I never thought one text could destroy me. But there it was, glowing on my phone. I'm moving in with my boss, we've been seeing each other for a while. My hands shook, my chest tightened, and tears burned my eyes. I read it again, hoping somehow it would disappear. It didn't. I dialed his number before I could think. Ethan answered almost immediately. Hey, what's up? His voice was casual, unaware. Did you send this? I demanded, my voice trembling. Send what? He asked, pretending to be confused. This text. About moving in with your boss. I held the phone between us like evidence. There was a pause. Then he said, calmly, yeah. What of it? What of it? I echoed, disbelief slicing through me. You're moving in with her? While with me? He sighed, leaning back. Harper, it's not what you think. We've been seeing each other, yes, but. I snapped, my voice rising. What does that even mean? How could you do this to me? I didn't plan for this to hurt you, he said softly, as if that made it better. It just happened. I felt my knees weaken. Happen? Love isn't something that just happens. Do you even know what you've done? He hesitated, then said, almost too calmly, I love you, Harper. But I needed something else. Something different. I couldn't breathe. My mind replayed every moment, every secretive glance, every phone call he took outside, every late night he worked. It all made sense now. My stomach dropped with nausea, my hands clutched at my chest. Chloe's voice rang in my head, watch your heart, Harper. Don't ignore the signs. I grabbed my phone and called her immediately. Harper, what's wrong? Chloe asked, alarmed. It's Ethan, I whispered, choking back sobs. He's moving in with his boss. He's cheating on me. There was silence for a moment. Then Chloe's voice grew firm. Harper, I'm so sorry. You deserve so much better. You need to breathe, stay calm, and think. I don't know if I can, I admitted, tears streaming down my face. I trusted him. I loved him. I know, she said softly. But you're stronger than this. Don't let him break you. You'll get through it. I hung up, staring at the ceiling. Sleep didn't come that night. I went over every memory, little betrayals I had ignored, the missed calls, the sudden mood swings, the way he always made excuses. How could I have been so blind? Was I not enough? Had I missed every single sign? The next day, I confronted him again. Why me? Why did you even pretend? My voice cracked with rage and heartbreak. He shrugged, unconcerned. I don't know, Harper. I liked the attention. I liked having it all. Attention? I echoed, disbelief and fury mixing in my chest. You're destroying everything we had. I didn't destroy anything, he said, voice cold. You'll get over it. You always do. I wanted to scream, to hit him, to make him feel even a fraction of my pain. But instead, I walked away, shaking, trying to hold myself together. That night, I lay in bed, eyes wide open, replaying every betrayal like daggers in my chest. Chloe called again. Talk to me, Harper. Don't shut down. Fight for yourself. I don't know if I can fight him, I admitted. It feels like I'm nothing. No, Harper, Chloe said firmly. You're everything. You're going to rise. I couldn't stay broken. I refused to. Not anymore. I stared at myself in the mirror, my reflection a mixture of rage, pain, and determination. Harper, I whispered, it's time to fight back. The first step was gathering proof. I started recording conversations, keeping screenshots, and jotting down everything that didn't add up. Ethan's casual lies, his secret texts, the suspicious calls, it was all there, and I refused to ignore it. Why are you doing this? Chloe asked one evening, sitting beside me with a worried expression. Because I can't just cry anymore, I said, voice tight. I need him to see that I'm not weak. That I won't be his victim. Chloe nodded. Good. I'll help you. We'll make sure you don't face this alone. Maya came over the next day. You're stronger than you think, Harper. Keep documenting everything. Don't let guilt cloud your judgment. He's the one who betrayed you, not the other way around. I know, I muttered, scrolling through my phone. But every time I see something like a text from him and his boss, I feel my heart drop all over again. You're allowed to feel, Maya said. But feeling doesn't mean giving up. You can use this anger, this heartbreak, to fuel yourself. That night, I confronted myself with memories of the good times with Ethan. His smile, the way he used to hold my hand, the whispered promises. I almost wanted to cry for the man I thought I knew. But then I remembered the betrayals I had ignored, the small lies, the sneaky calls, the subtle manipulations. My heart hardened. I wouldn't let nostalgia blind me anymore. The next day at work, I noticed subtle betrayals from colleagues. They knew about Ethan's antics, and some even smiled at the chaos he caused. I can't believe they just watched it happen, I said to Chloe later. They're scared, Chloe said. Or they don't care. But you care about your own truth. That's what matters. I started planning. I would expose him, but carefully. I wanted undeniable proof, not just accusations. Every time Ethan tried to charm me, I kept my guard up. You seem tense, he said one night as I walked into the apartment. Yeah, because I'm done being naive, I replied, trying to keep my voice steady. I know more than you think. He smirked. Oh, really? And what exactly do you know? Enough, I said, not breaking eye contact. Enough to show everyone the truth. And enough to finally stand on my own. The more I uncovered, the stronger I felt. Ethan's arrogance began to crack, his explanations grew weaker, his confidence less convincing. And every time I doubted myself, Chloe or Maya reminded me of my worth. Don't let him shake you, Chloe said. You're reclaiming yourself. I laughed bitterly one night, alone, imagining Ethan realizing that his power over me was gone. This is the first time in months I don't feel scared, I whispered. I'm not his victim anymore. There were setbacks. Nights I cried, times I questioned my sanity, moments I almost picked up the phone to beg him to care. But each time, I remembered the little victories: an uncovered lie, a recorded confession, a colleague who finally admitted the truth. By the end of the week, I felt different. Stronger. Wiser. I had rebuilt my confidence piece by piece. I could finally face Ethan without fear. I could expose him. And I knew, deep down, that rising from this heartbreak would make me unstoppable. I glanced at Chloe and Maya that night. Thank you, I said softly. I couldn't have done this without you. You didn't need us to fight for you, Chloe said, smiling. We just reminded you how strong you already are. I nodded, feeling a fire. I finally couldn't wait any longer. I had the proof, the recordings, the screenshots, every lie Ethan had ever told me laid bare. I called Chloe and Maya. Tonight, I said, voice firm. We're ending this. Chloe squeezed my hand. You're ready. I've never seen you more certain. Maya nodded. Let's do it, Harper. Show him who you really are. I arrived at Ethan's apartment, the weight of months of heartbreak and betrayal pressing down on me. He opened the door, smiling like nothing had happened. Harper, what are you doing here? I'm done pretending, Ethan, I said, stepping inside. I know everything. Everything? He asked, feigning shock. Harper, wait, let's talk. Talk? I cut him off. I have screenshots, recordings, messages. I know about your boss, your lies, your manipulations. And now everyone else will too. He laughed nervously. You don't know what you're saying. People won't believe. They will, I said firmly, my hands shaking slightly but my voice steady. Chloe and Maya are here. My friends, some of your colleagues. And anyone else who matters is going to hear the truth tonight. His smirk faltered. You wouldn't. Oh, I would, I said, finally letting the fire inside me roar. And I will. The confrontation was tense. I played the recordings, showed the messages, exposed the lies one by one. Ethan tried to charm his way out, smile, plead, even cry. But nothing worked. The proof was undeniable. His colleague's eyes widened, whispers filled the room, and his confidence crumbled before me. You're lying, he stammered. No, I said softly, feeling a strange calm. I loved you, Ethan. I trusted you. And now you're facing the consequences of your actions. Chloe and Maya stood beside me, supporting me silently, their presence giving me strength. I glanced around the room, friends, colleagues, even a few family members, and watched as the truth hit them all. Ethan's smirk was gone. His charm evaporated like mist. You've lost everything, I whispered, almost to myself. The lies, the control, the power, it's gone. He didn't respond. He couldn't. And in that silence, I realized something incredible. I was free. I had reclaimed myself. Later, sitting with Chloe and Maya, I let the tears come not of pain, but of release. I can't believe it's finally over, I said, my voice cracking but steady. It is, Chloe said softly. You fought for yourself. You stood tall when he tried to break you. Maya smiled. And look at you now, Harper. Strong, fearless, unstoppable. I laughed softly, the sound unfamiliar but comforting. I used to cry for him, worry for him, make excuses for him. And now I can finally see myself. The Harper who believed too easily, trusted too much, she's gone. The Harper now? She's powerful. I thought back to the early days, Ethan's smile, his whispered promises, the nights I ignored the small signs. I remembered my naivety, the heartbreak that almost destroyed me, and the long nights of crying alone. And I realized how far I had come. You've come so far, Chloe said, as if reading my thoughts. Yes, I said. I finally love myself. I can trust again, and I won't ever let anyone like him hurt me the same way. The journey had been painful. Betrayal had cut me open, tears had washed me raw, but now I was whole. Stronger, wiser, unshakable. I smiled, closing my eyes for a moment, feeling the freedom, the peace, and the power I had reclaimed. Ethan, gone from my life, exposed, and left to face the consequences he deserved. I had survived. I had risen. And for the first time in months, I felt